seen it.
Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt. Boy, I can hear myself really well now.
Yeah.
The headphones on. This is the fourth segment, and Marquardt Law Firm sponsors the show, and so
The Marquardt Law Firm? Really?
yeah,
Wow, that's so cool.
that's right. And we do last wills and living trusts and tax protected inheritance plans. So we like to talk about legacy.
Yeah.
And now, it's time for the Talk Law Radio Legacy Spotlight. What's your legacy? Sponsored by Marquardt Law Firm.
Okay, now I heard all that. So
I wonder what Chris thought when she first saw
headphones
that
down.
name.
Oh,
I wonder
don't
if she
know.
thought about it. Do I really want to marry this guy? Have to learn how to spell that name.
She probably had lots of questions
Yeah.
about that. But since it's legacy, I brought show and tell.
Oh, cool.
So this is the Purple Heart that my gran was awarded because he was in Korea, and it was his job to transport heavy machinery and trucks around. And he was under attack one time, and he lost a good friend that day. And there was metal pieces being thrown everywhere. There were explosions. I wasn't there. They just told me this later.
Yeah.
And so because of the explosion and the shrapnel, he was awarded the Purple Heart. He died relatively young age of 60 from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, my.
Back in 1992, there wasn't many treatments for something like that.
Right.
And so
Oh, that's his picture. Can
this
I
is
see?
his obituary. I was 12 years old then, and I knew him,
Yeah.
but I only got to know him, for a few years after I learned how to talk. Something funny about him is that the only cartoons that he would like to watch with us was Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Really? Why?
I don't know. He was somewhat of an engineer. He worked with radios. And another interesting thing about him is he would have the police scanner next to where he sat in the living room. He liked to listen to the police chatter on their radios.
What an interesting guy. He has a lovely face.
Yeah. And
Yes,
so
he has a
my
nice face.
my grandmother, my mama, she was very upset that she lost him at such a young age. She was sort of lost without him.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
she learned how to bowl. She was in a bowling league.
Yeah.
And
Did she ever tell you how they met? Is there a good story there?
I'm not sure about that. I'll have to
Yeah.
ask some family members about that. Something else I brought is this embroidery that my mom made. It says, people will be more impressed by the depth of your conviction than by the height of your logic. She made that for me. Sorry, it's all dusty.
It's gorgeous. No need for apologies. That's beautiful.
But
How
today should have been her birthday.
Oh, happy birthday in heaven,
Yeah.
Todd's mom.
So I'm glad to record on her birthday because she
Yeah.
was my number one fan.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this with us.
Yeah, so
This
these
is so
are
special.
these are parts of the legacy that I've inherited, from my mom and from my grand. That my mom had this, so I got it from her, and we remember them, and so I'd like to remember veterans that served in all kinds of different conflicts and that serve stateside. A veteran is just somebody who served, and so we're going to honor veterans of the U.S. military on Monday, November 11th, 2024, at Brookdale on Nacogdoches, come on by and have some barbecue. I'll be speaking about elder law and government benefits, the veterans pension and Medicaid, and then we're going to have barbecue, and I'm going to give away a $100 gift card to IKEA.
I want to go.
It's going to be fun.
Am I invited too? It's for everybody, or who's your target audience?
No, you can come because you know a veteran. Mm-hmm. So tell us about the veteran in your life, at least one special veteran.
Well, the story that comes to mind is my dad. He served in Korea, and he was telling me that he had never left his little neighborhood because he lived in Chula Vista, California. So that was his whole world. And then he got on the bus, and there was one other Mexican guy, and they got off the bus at like Arkansas or something like that, and they all had to go to the bathroom. And so there was a big sign for whites and blacks. And then so my dad, bless his little heart, he's like, well, where do Mexicans go? And some redneck guy tells him, oh, Mexicans go around back. And so he would always tell that story that there was no...
Wow.
There was segregation with the black and the white, but they didn't have a special one for.
Wow, I bet that was traumatizing.
He didn't talk about it like in a traumatizing way, and there were other Hispanics. So he said it was a really good, like something about the military, the camaraderie, like racism would just disappear, because that person. I, in my humble opinion, in just a very broad sense, I think the military's been really good for racial. What's the word? Integration, yeah. Yeah. Because they did it,
I heard somebody talk about that same brotherhood, sisterhood.
Yeah.
And just cry and just say,
wow.
If somebody's having a hard time, you feel it too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Us civilians, I don't think we have that bond.
Yeah, well we're trauma bonded from law school.
Yeah, there we go.
A little bit.
So that's cool. Your dad went to Korea and he got to see the world.
Yeah, he got to get out of his little neighborhood there. And then I called him right before the show, and I had totally forgotten this, but his family came out in the newspaper back in the day because his father had 7 brothers, and they all were in World War II at the same time. And then I'm going to overshare a tiny bit. My grandfather came back with a raging alcohol problem. Like he had PTSD and he had voluntarily, gone in to the war, like out of patriotism. And he even lied about his age to like get in early. But he was just ruined, basically, you know. So the whole family story was just having to deal with this guy and how traumatized he was. Well, Todd, at the end of his life, we found this book, and turns out he had been a hero, and he had liberated the camps, he had helped liberate the concentration camps. And they had actually he's documented in this book all of his exploits. And it's so like the dichotomy, because he was, kind of, it was embarrassing to have your dad be like on the street and be so riddled with alcoholism. So it really did a lot for our family to heal, to realize that, well, there's a reason why he ended up like that.
And that goes to show you that you really don't know what somebody's been through.
Thank you. Yeah. You try not to judge. But then again, that'd be really hard to have a parent like that.
It's hard to have children or siblings like that. It's a difficult problem to go through.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing about your father and grandfather. What a tremendous legacy. Hopefully you have clippings of those newspapers.
Yeah, I do.
I like to have mementos like this.
Yeah. I should put it on my Facebook, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, for Veterans Day.
There you go.
Yeah. I think I will do that. Good.
It's a great way to honor him. And I think it's good to inspire the rest of us.
Yeah.
If you're confronted with some difficult situation and you have an opportunity to make somebody's life better, do the hard thing and help somebody out.
Yeah, I love it.
There was a
right.
quote that I saw earlier. I didn't know how I was going to incorporate it to the show, but I think now is a good time. Leonardo da Vinci said, "As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death."
Love it. I love it.
But I don't really sleep that well, so I need to spend my days better.
Oh, do you exercise? That helps with sleep.
I walk the dog.
Oh, yeah, that's good exercise. You have some fun trips coming up, yes? You gonna do anything fun?
I'm going deer hunting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna kill a deer?
I have to.
An innocent doe-eyed deer? Do you know that? Do you get the reference?
Yes, it's population control.
Oh, gosh.
You know, if people don't eat them, then they get eaten by coyotes.
Okay. Making the world a better place.
Yeah. And it's good bonding with my oldest son, Reagan.
Nice.
Thomas might join us later, but...
And you know how to do the whole, like, what do you do with a deer after you have it? Like, you know how to do all that?
Yes. You have to pretend like you're a butcher.
Really? And you do all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not easy, so... You know, I'm not going to take a deer unless I'm committed to doing all that work.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And now that the kids are older, you know, if they get one, then that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Just to spend the time together.
Yeah, well, that's lovely.
Even my daughter, Caitlin, got a deer, and it was funny. We wanted to play a trick on her, and so we said, you know, you have to eat the heart.
Oh, no, wakala. Oh, my gosh. Why did you do that
And
to her?
so there's a picture with her holding it next to her mouth, but she didn't. We said, no, don't eat that.
Oh, gosh. Oh, you're going to get some comments, Todd.
Yeah. But it was good bonding time with her, too. She doesn't like to hunt anymore, but she at least tried it.
You know, when we first moved here, me and my family first moved here to Texas, they invited us to the deer lease. Mom, I want to go to the deer lease. Can I go to the deer lease? Who are they? Well, we have to know them, Shannon. We have to know who they are. It was deer lease. They were going to the deer lease.
Yeah.
So that's one of our family jokes is that we thought, who are these people? The deer lease.
That's funny.
They sure have a lot of land.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have.
Oh, no more time for my random stories.
No,
Darn it.
sorry. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Each week, attorney Todd Marquardt talks about the law. His mission with the Talk Law Radio show and podcast is to help you discover your legal issue blind spots. In the beginning, God had one law. Don't eat from the fruit of that tree. Then came the Ten Commandments. Now we have federal, state, and municipal lawmakers that won't stop creating new laws. Laws that might impact you without you knowing it. Listen to the show and drop a line on Facebook or email host@talklawradio.com and let the host know what you think of the show, the topics you want to hear, and whether you want to be a guest.